are you somebody who casually watches the MCU? Are you recommending them to watch
If
Moon
you're
Knight?
casual,
If you're a casual.
Make some noise!
So before we watched Multiverse of Madness, we watched the finale of Oscar Isaac in Moon Knight. Can you guys tell me what were your thoughts? Just from just blatant thoughts from the top. We'll start with you, Ben.
Oh, okay. I think from the very first episode, I was completely hooked. I thought it was so weird, and the way it was shot, and I like being confused. I like shows where I don't know what's happening. Obviously, if it's too obvious and straightforward, I'm just like, oh, okay. I guess I'll just keep watching. But like, it was so strange, and it was shot so well. Yeah, from the first episode, I loved it. There's probably only one episode that didn't really wow me, but I loved it as a whole. I do have complaints, as I always do. But
Okay, I'm actually really interested to hear your complaints. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm dead serious. I'm so honest because
we'll get there. We'll get there.
a lot of times like people just watch it and they don't take away certain stuff like that. Like they don't look at it to like even slightly critique it. And I like to hear people's thoughts on this. But with that being said, Tech, give me your thoughts on right now Moon Knight as a whole. Now that we've seen the whole thing,
I think it was mid.
Mid, damn.
Yeah,
Damn, mid?
I think it was mid, bro. Like, I was not impressed. I was not happy. I liked it. I liked the performances a lot. I liked the visuals, but the story,
Mid.
it fell a little flat for me. And I can't explain why.
Okay.
Well, I can. It just didn't do it for me.
Okay.
But not saying it was bad. It wasn't bad, but it is definitely not my favorite Disney Plus show. And it's basically pure story. It was a pure story.
It's pure. It's pure story. Yeah.
It just lagged a little bit too much for me.
Okay, so this might be a good time for me to complain.
Okay, go on.
While I loved it, this does feel a bit like the old school Netflix days, where it's just story. It's just conversation, plot development, backstory, origin story. Like the best episodes of Daredevil were the last episodes where he got his suit on and finally get his fucking suit. And the rest of the time it's my eyes literally fell in acid, or I'm a kid. It's just like come on. We don't read comics for backstories. We read comics for hot Daredevil on Kingpin action.
It's true. That's true.
Yeah, so this was a lot of that. I still fucking loved it anyway, but my complaint was that this is just TV. This is but it had some gods, some great voice acting, some amazing acting. Yeah, some great special effects and stuff like that.
It's still supposed to be an action adventure show.
Right.
And I feel like it was tons of just him battling his mental illness, which is fine. I get it. But I feel like it was too much of that, right? I would love to see more Harrow. I would have loved to see a little bit more of like why he's doing this. You know what I mean? Like, or not even that, but like maybe just like go into the gods a little bit more instead of focusing on his split personalities. Like I feel like they played the split personality trope almost every episode to the last episode.
So I guess I did. I'm definitely disagreeing with you guys. I loved every instance of it. I love that it didn't feel like it didn't, even though obviously we get these shows all the time, and I didn't even think about that until you said that, Ben. It definitely has the rhythm of like a season one, like from point A to point B, we get the suit up, the whole nine, and it is set like the Netflix, the Daredevil season one, and then the added battle of like him dealing with his DID and how he got there. I don't know. I really liked it. Like I would say, and I guess I'll save this judgment, the grade judgment for later. But like the way that the character came to be, I feel like a lot of times when we watch stuff like this, like it does not go this deep into it. And I feel like I don't know if this character is coming back more than one thing, because y'all making me think y'all don't want a season 2 of this shit. Do y'all not want a season 2 of this? Is that what y'all telling me?
For me, I just want. I like Moon Knight. I like Moon Knight.
Okay.
Did it wow me? Did it impress me? Did it change my mind? No. And also, that's partly Marvel's fault and reason why is because you have the season finale the same week as Doctor Strange. You're kind of, biting your nose to spite your face there. Like most of the attention is going to go to that. So like the conversations that usually surround these shows was definitely lower this time because of that.
Yeah.
And from a fan perspective, I feel like episode 2 through 5 was kind of just blah. Like it could have. By the time the 5th episode rolled around, I was like, dude, they have to really kill it on the season finale, on the series finale, and it was good.
Okay. So the whole chances, the build up to Jake Lockley, the blacking out. I know you said it was shot, had some amazing performances. That did nothing. That doesn't play to the Tech Supreme way. No.
I did feel like the Jake Lockley storyline was so buried that like it didn't even really get a chance to shine at all. Like and even that moment, they have like one moment where they can let me see it. They can let me see Jake Lockley take over, and it might be some dope shit. We black out and we fast forward.
I like that though. I love
all the other times.
The scariness.
Except the season finale.
So for those who don't know, they even said right that they changed the way they changed the synopsis, right, as a limited series. They actually changed it. So it said that it was the series finale at first, but it was actually changed to the season finale. So there's a good chance we could get more Moon Knight and Oscar Isaac here to kind of flesh out this story. Honestly, I'm super intrigued, and I don't know if anybody out there in the chat agrees with me. I was super intrigued by the mystery. The fact that we had like Mark Spector being like, hey man, I'm here to handle business, and even him, he had his own like kind of moral conflicts like going forward, and just being a person. I love that they kind of flushed out both sides of this in a very competent way, right? Like at first you're just thinking that it's just Steven, but then you get the build up and the reveal to Mark. So for me, I'm very much was I was tied to the story in the sense that the character outside of the mask and everything, they seem really interesting. I feel like we've never obviously we've never had like an instance where we have this character that's talking to himself and fighting it and battling it and having like an actual feel behind it. So I don't know, maybe that's just me though. It felt more like Scarlet Scarab's origin story rather than Moon Knight's. I think I agree in all honesty. I feel like the story I feel like in this instance, like I don't want them to keep giving me, the origin story cut and copy. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So, and
we got it anyway.
We got it anyway, right? But even to the degree of this one, I felt like even the way that it's structured was pretty cool. Like for me, it was really cool that we were introduced to Steven, and then it gave us the intro to Mark, and then like successfully told us his story. And then I feel like even though I am tight about it, we did get Jake Lockley to the end, even though we knew he was blacking out. But that gives us the opportunity to potentially get a season 2. And like I feel like one of the best things they have on the table that they could do, they literally could just have whole episodes of Mark Spector going off while Steven is blacked out, and then they can literally go back to those episodes. And I mean, obviously, who knows if they do that shit or not? Because who knows? But I get it.
One of the things shot him, they're just gonna use him in the future.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. One of the things that I was looking for was like maybe a fill in the blank episode. That would have been really dope to me.
I was waiting on it. I'm agree. I was waiting on that shit.
And we never really got that. And yeah, even the ending, I'm not sure if I enjoyed it. But maybe it just didn't strike the proper chord for me. That's all. But I liked it. It's still a positive show. It's like not a bad show at all.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking wild though that Marvel's just like, oh yeah, these are gods and they're real.
Yeah,
I mean, that's awesome.
And then Thor: Love and Thunder's got Zeus in it.
And Gore the God Butcher, which they said they were going to put in there, but they took it out. They took out like
really? I didn't even know that. I know that. I know. I read apparently that the director, he really wanted to have a crossover with the Eternals.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I think that's really cool as well. I mean, overall, this show really did kind of detach itself from like the MCU. I mean, we had the hints like the GRC and all that extra stuff. But for the most part, I really do like how it's kind of like to the side. It really does give us like where is this happening and where is it at kind of feel.
Yeah.
Overall, I love the whole gods and afterlife thing, and the way that they explain it is that like the interpretation of the afterlife for a lot of these characters is just all about your perspective. So in case of Wakanda, where they show the ancestral plane, where they go see like their ancestors and stuff like that, it's all about like the perception of the afterlife. So, and considering what we saw here, I think that's really, really crazy how they put, the Egyptian side to it and flush that out. And we still have that it's like an interpretation of, I guess, your belief in like the MCU. So it was a really cool little caveat to put on there on the understanding side.
I think I enjoy the fact that they didn't have, this is like the first Disney Plus show that they've done that they didn't have another crossover person in it. And I enjoyed that. I thought that was actually a good standalone story that they can do. And, still, and create characters, create a new world, with someone in it that we can hopefully look forward to them coming into the universe without having a crossover event, without having to lean on someone who's already established in the MCU.
I think that's true. I think they're doing, and I was talking about this yesterday on the stream, like what they've kind of integrated the comic structure to the MCU, where you can decide to go look at this additional content, right? But that's for the people who really want to look at it, right? And I think, and this is something else that I touched on, not every show is going to be like, damn, that show was amazing for every person. And I think Marvel understands that as well. And they're like balancing it between like, well, look, we got a shit ton of people that want to come see it just based off of the lore. And we have people that just want to see it that's based off of the interest that is connected to the MCU. And they might like it or they might not like it. But by that time, it's already done its due course. And they can still have an intro base for this character to come back in on, because I am genuinely hoping that we get a Midnight Suns movie. Like, I really hope that the reason that this exists is that like some small part, which I feel like is definitely going to happen, they come back and they're going to have to address this, and they're going to be like, well, where did this come from and where did these characters come from? And I very much feel like it's going to be a Doctor Strange in a multiverse of madness instance, where the Disney Plus series is the prelude to something even bigger to come from it. And we really gonna talk about this Disney Plus fiasco, go back and forth, because people are telling me like, man, it did make sense, her story arc did make sense, and like I'm watching people say this on the internet, and I'm like, how do you not know what's happening? But we're gonna save that for it literally, like,
it
what?
Makes all the sense.
Really?
It actually makes 100% sense, dude. Like,
but we're gonna save it, right? I'm right, Tech, I swear to God, I'm right there with you. We're gonna save it for the second half. We're gonna save it for the second half. But PR Tyrone says, and I 100% agree because I already read, says, I will say as a new Marvel consumer, the Oscar Isaac's performance did a lot for the show to kind of make up for some things in episodes 2 through 5, but I was able to follow the storytelling and flow of the show personally. I'm right there with you. Like, I personally think the way that they structured the show, I think it was unique because they had to deal with so many different storytelling elements. Like, you don't get shows of like, you really do get characters, right? But them being portrayed by one actor and then them doing so well, and then it adds up to this whole suited conflict, and then you have both of them talking and they're switching back and forth, and we got that crazy ass fight scene which was really had me going when he was switching back and forth. Even like Arthur Harrow getting in the mix up a little bit was really tight. So I definitely see what you're saying, Ben. It definitely had it definitely has kind of that cookie cutter Netflix outfit to it. But I feel like if we point that out, it's not the Netflix superhero shows, only the Marvel ones, the Daredevils, the Punishers, and I'm only going to say season 1 of Jessica Jones because that's the one I thought was the best, and after that it kind of got derailed. And obviously we don't have to say anything about Iron Fist, but I like the structure. I feel the structure of this show taking, if we want to call it the Netflix layout, right? I actually liked it for this because I feel like the way that they dealt with the characters, I felt like it was a lot packed in this show. Like even separate from like WandaVision, even separate from like Hawkeye, like him dealing with the DID, this character being portrayed by one actor, how Arthur Harrow and the afterlife and the Egyptian gods and the whole nine, how that ties to the future of the MCU, how, the fact that My man literally came back from the dead, you know, and they're justifying it. Like, there's a lot that they kind of like push in here that we don't even know how it ends up wrapping up. But once again, I just got to put it into the universe. I want the Midnight Suns, bro. They already introducing Blade. Now they have this character that's dealing with DID and other worldly, you know, demons being summoned. Like, I feel like that's where we're going. I'm going to reserve, you know what I'm saying, after that. But either way.
Bring back Ghost Rider and Punisher, and we're good. Man, give me that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider. That guy was perfect.
Man, Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider. Oh my God. It looks so cool. Also, like, I'm glad you brought that up, because if you think about what we saw from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I felt like this was perfect. I felt like this was even better than what they're doing on Disney Plus. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Someone said, "Give me back Nicolas Cage." I'm sorry,
bro. For real? Who said that? NY Crownless King. I'm finna time your ass out. Don't be saying that shit in the chat. Anyway, I'm just kidding. One. I think it would be sick if he comes back in. Oh shit! You know what? I think there's a very good play for him to come back as Ghost Rider. Actually, I think there is, but I'm gonna save it. I'll save it. We'll get there in Multiverse of Madness. Anyways, one of the things that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did was, up until a certain point, there are story arcs on the show. Even though Kevin Feige does not want this show to be, and I say Kevin Feige and ballooning with Disney and the MCU, so not just directly Kevin Feige. I don't want you guys out there, you know, hate tweeting my man Kevin Feige because he's a genius. But as we know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't connect to the MCU, even though the series and the seasons up until a certain point literally followed everything that happened in the MCU. And I think it was amazing. That's why I think it's crazy that they're not tying it to it, because the whole S.H.I.E.L.D., the Hydra arc, them, you know, going the whole gods and monster route, the Captain America 2, the Avengers Age of Ultron connection, the Wanda Maximoff connection, like literally that show did some crazy things that literally ran right into it. And Tech, you brought up how they literally had the weekend build up and they had Doctor Strange and they had this finale. But think about it like this. And one of the things, and this literally happened on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know what season it was, but it was literally an episode that came out maybe the week before or maybe the week of, and it aired on a Tuesday. And an Age of Ultron came out like that Thursday. They literally had Agent Coulson summon the Avengers, and nobody knew it. Like, he was like, the whole season, damn, I'm about to spoil the season. So the whole season they built up where they thought Coulson was lying to them. They was like, yo, Coulson, man, how the fuck are we supposed to trust you? You're not telling us anything. You're starting to act like Fury. Fury literally shows up in the show, so it makes sense. And they're like, how are we supposed to trust you? And like, why are we doing all of this? And they didn't believe Coulson's motives. But the last thing he does is he's like, hey, they find Baron Strucker's vase. They literally find Baron Strucker's base, and he was like, hey, get the guys in here, essentially. And literally, that's why you see the Avengers storming that compound where Baron von Strucker is, because he got the call from Coulson. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? That was tight. Like, what? Yeah, and even if you didn't see, you know what I'm saying, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the fact that I can even tell you that, and that buildup is literally right there, and it still connects to Wanda Maximoff, is something that I really like that they did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're not seeing it so much in that form here for Disney Plus, but I still like what they're doing, because we have so much content that might not directly tie to what's coming out in the film, but I feel like somewhere down the line, especially now, that is going to be a big payoff.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about. Was before going into both of these, I was telling my students and all this stuff, I'm like, I need some connective tissue, right? It's time.
Yeah,
I said this to you guys before. It's been a long time since we've had an Avengers movie. All these things have been sort of connected but not. We had lots of TV shows where they're all sort of doing their own thing. Like I said, I don't know if I said this here last time, but like there's a big hand in the middle of the ocean now that nobody's paying attention to. Like, what the fuck? Can we talk about that, please?
Yep.
And then Spider-Man destroys the Statue of Liberty, and or at least part of it, right? So all these things going on that, I just need some connective tissue, and I think we got that with Doctor Strange if we're going to talk about that. But
yeah.
Yeah. So I need more. So as good as this was, as much as I loved it, I love the cinematography. I watched one episode like completely drunk out of my mind, and I was just like, "This is gorgeous."
Yo, it's shot so
That's
well. Like it's shot very well,
It's
man. Like
gorgeous.
it's
It's the one where they
gorgeous.
went down into the tomb, and I was just like, "This is beautiful. This is a very expensive show." But anyway, so that's all I want to say is like this feels good, but it feels small, but it feels big, but it's ignoring the rest of the MCU, but it's set up for more. But like it's all these things all at once, and
I always have this theory about Marvel MCU especially with these shows, that each show is to lay down a foundation of understanding. And to me, the only purpose of the show was to introduce Moon Knight, which I think they did a phenomenal job as far as a character, right? Because you take something like Taskmaster, where they actually kind of didn't do a good job, so you can know there's a difference, right? Like they did a good job. I'm excited to see him within the MCU, but I just think that this show was only geared towards introducing gods, which is I'm fine with, but I feel like overall I didn't get a huge a purpose for it.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I mean, so
yeah,
what?
Yeah, there was no like big weight for the MCU, like you know what I mean.
It's fine because everything doesn't have to be that.
Yeah,
but, like,
exactly. Yeah.
I don't know, because if I look at the other shows, of course, WandaVision was literally a setup for
Doctor Strange.
2.
It's literally, and it came out what 2 years ago? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Falcon and Winter Soldier, that's going to be a lead up for
Captain America 4. Yeah.
And Loki is literally everything. The purpose of Loki was multiverse and variants, right?
They literally that's the only reason. It made you okay with them casting different people to play different roles. Sometimes they look the same, sometimes they don't. There is a multiverse, and who's controlling it? Yeah, no, I think they did a great job.
I have to muddy up the conversation. I think WandaVision opened up multiverse when we had the other Quicksilver show up, because there's a difference between timelines and multiverses.
That's true.
But we didn't have a name for it, right? Because we now know, like, possibly that Ralph Boner, even though he
could be a variant.
He could be a variant, but we didn't have that term. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
They just kind of, it was a good tease, but I felt like it was a very soft tease to introduce this new theory. Yeah. Because that's a big thing to ask people who are just like, some people are kids, some people don't watch Marvel movies just for them. They don't watch Marvel like that. They just watch the movies, the big ones. So you're asking them to learn a new concept, which is something that we already know because we're in the comic books and we're nerds.
Yeah.
But like, a multiverse is a big thing for people. Like it's a
complicated
thing.
It's a super big thing.
Average, not to say average, but for your average consumer who's maybe not diving deep into it. Like, hey, why is there 3 fucking Spider-Men? You know, like, but we already had those answers leading into it. So I felt the purpose. The purpose was used, and it was good. And I definitely think, like, in time, Moon Knight is going to be more relevant, right?
Yeah,
like,
you do know the minute they I'm telling you, they just introduced the Black Knight, Blade's coming. Like they're showing that they're going deep into the whole occult with this. Doctor Strange 2, literally, like they're going deep into the occult and dark. Yeah, like it's really cool.
This show is very dark. It's probably one of the most violent things the Marvel's done. There's somebody being like dissected on a table right in front of us. I was like, all right, Disney.
Okay, Disney. Like the minute I literally went back and started watching Daredevil season 1. I'm like, and I legit was like, I can't believe I'm watching this on Disney Plus. Like it was literally like, damn, I can't believe they're actually gonna show this. I saw Sketch Sawyer. You said you love the Eternals, felt very different from the rest. Man, I love the Eternals, and this is coming from somebody who actually read the Eternals before it became a film. There's a lot of films in the MCU that obviously we know what we're here to watch, man. These are like superhero films, and I know I just saw the guy I met once, man. Welcome back to the Taste Bud Sub Club. So it kind of felt like I'm over the MCU for the most part, right? And obviously that's gonna happen. I feel like there's gonna be a burnout phase where you're like, you know what? What does this even mean? Who cares about this? Let me go watch some serious stuff. But for me, that will never be the case. I'm gonna just tell you right now, it will never be the case. You know what I'm saying?
I could have 10 years of bad Star Wars and be like, I don't care.
Right? Exactly. Joke's on you. I'm gonna watch that shit anyway. And just to address what some of the people are saying, somebody says, I wonder if Moon Knight is based on Earth 616, and that is a very, 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 very serious question. But I'm gonna say that it is because they mentioned like the GRC, and there's a few consistencies that make me think that this is definitely on the same world with dead Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? So I really think it is. I really think it is. Let me see. Now, regardless of how you felt about Moon Knight, do you guys feel like they did a good job of showing DID, right? Like, I know like it wasn't for everybody, but when it comes to the disorder that he had, did that add something to it? Did it take away something from the show and you guys' expertise, like from what you were expecting? Tech, I know you already said it really wasn't your thing, so let me start with you.
Well, no, it's my thing. I like it, but I think like they leaned on it heavily, and they used that as the story instead of actually like having a story. Because you get the struggle in the first episode, you kind of get the plot or whatever, and then it just kind of tiptoes all the way to the end. And that's my problem. Now, as far as the disorder is concerned, I think Oscar Isaac is one of the best actors we have right now.
Yeah,
Did an
that's
amazing job.
100% true. In the I just gotta say, in the MCU, like they have done an amazing job of putting these crazy established actors in like the main role or crazy supporting roles. This has been one of the best castings they've done. Like, especially recently, I would like to say. Like, you know how a lot of times they do the casting, like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But we knew Oscar Isaac was an amazing actor, right? We knew what he was going to bring to the table, but he even still, I was impressed, and he knocked it out of the park. So,
I know they consulted people about it, just like they did with that Hellblade game, the game that was specifically about mental health. So I know they did their homework. I couldn't help but judge it the whole time, wondering if somebody I know, because I've got students every semester that go through all kinds of stuff, right? So I see it not in its entirety, but I'm always exposed to it a little bit. So I'm always wondering, like, somebody like that is going to watch it and go, they kind of, borderline offensive, or they missed the mark, or they're using it as a storytelling device, whatever. But I think that would have probably broke the news already if they did misuse it. So I think they probably did okay with it.
It's going to be an unrealistic, because even if you had MPD or DID, you're not going to look in the reflection and see the other person. Like, that's not how that works. So it's definitely geared for television entertainment. Like, it's not going to be.
I don't know that.
So I got some news for you, gents. The thing is that if you watch the credits, because I'm one of those guys, they tell you that not only did they have a specialist, they actually consulted a specialist for the Judaism, the Jewish consultant. They also had a consultant for DID. And even I read like articles about it, and they said like that scene, this has made this show even better to me. That scene in the bedroom where his mom came in there and she started beating him and stuff like that. They said that's exactly one of the instances in which DID pops up. So
that scene was like, when I saw that scene, I was like, somebody went through that.
Yeah, dude, like for real.
Someone who wrote that went through that.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, that shit's heavy.
Scene.
That shit is heavy, bro. So that's why, like, when I'm watching this show, like, I thought the way that they portrayed this character was so. I'm not gonna say authentic, because personally I don't know that much about DID to say that. But when I say the time that they spent explaining him going through it, and the fact that like it's not, they didn't make it just some Passover instance. They really did their homework, because like, dude, that's really strong. We all know that like Steven being Jewish is really, really strong to that character, right? So like even him, they're talking about the passing of his mother, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but like that is a real like tradition that they really look up, the Shiva, that's what it's called. And if them going that extra mile to like put that into the character, like I feel like that does a lot for what could potentially come down the line, because they just think about it. This easily could have been, not saying like the character exists, but Moon Knight and the way he did this could have been 3 different, actors. If in another instance, right? Another world, right? It could have been 3 different actors portraying his role. But Oscar Isaac did this in this show and tackled another thing that, MCU hasn't really touched, which is, the Egyptian, making it as authentic as possible, and still throwing in some Easter eggs for, people looking out for Kang and stuff like that. So that's really, really cool to me. That was one of the things I really took away from it.
Yeah, there's times where he just felt so afflicted. Like there was a particular time where he was like hitting himself in the head and screaming, stuff like that. So yeah. He definitely, acted his ass off. Not gonna.
He did, dude. No, he killed it. He's the like. If the story may not be my cup of tea, he definitely him and Ethan when he was on screen. I feel like I needed more of him.
But, yeah.
But everyone's even the woman who played God, I forget her name. Give me one. What's her name? She's on screen now.
May Calloway.
Calamaway.
Yeah, Calamaway. I'm sorry, I know I'm butchering that, but yeah.
Yeah, but she did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, dude. Like I feel like it's crazy because like every supporting character really did a damn good job of just portraying their character. That actually kind of that was gonna be my next question. Like, who really surprised you? We know everybody's phenomenal. I heard somebody saying that I saw somebody saying in the chat that Ethan Hawke, man. Ethan Hawke, I'm gonna tell you right now, my man really surprised me. Like it was really one of those things, and this is the example that I'm gonna give. And I'm sticking to this shit. So I love Matthew McConaughey. I love that guy as an actor. I love him as an actor. But do you guys remember that movie, The Tower, when he starred opposite Idris Elba?
No.
Yeah, it's like the Stephen King. It's based on the Stephen King, and he was the gunslinger from like the West, and it's a Stephen King thing, and it's all the Stephen King worlds. Anyways.
Oh, Dark Tower. Excuse me.
Yes, I did see that.
You know, one thing I hated more than anything is that these crazy top profile actors, not saying that they need to, I did not believe 1 second that this motherfucker had powers. Like the way he did his hands, the way he made his face, none of that shit, right? And Matthew McConaughey is an amazing actor. I thought that was what I was going to get from Ethan Hawke. That was not the case. My man legit surprised me. And like just seeing the roles that he's come from doing to do a Marvel film and a Marvel series and enjoy it, by the way. All of these, I mean, that's crazy to me. That's
Ethan
really
Hawke has been that guy.
Facts. That's facts.
Yeah, he's been that guy for a long time. I literally hated horror movies until Ethan Hawke.
Nice.
I literally I did not watch horror movies. I was not into it, and then it came out with, what was it, Sinister? Am I thinking? Is that?
Oh yeah. You know, I think who did Sinister? I think it was Scott Derrickson who directed the first Doctor Strange. Actually,
Sinister, 2012. Loved that movie. Got me single-handedly back into horror movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I heard Ethan Hawke didn't have any interest until Oscar Isaac came to him and said, "Hey, look, you got to take this script out. This isn't your typical superhero or whatever." Yeah. And I wanted to say that earlier, like, me and Tech have our shortcomings about the show. Maybe it is what it is, so that we can have these actors do what they do and not just have some, slap boxing match,
CGI fest.
CGI mess.
Like,
so
actually,
we've just got some of the best actors alive.
Actually actors.
Right. Yeah. So, count our blessings, right?
But I'll tell you one thing. As it stands right now, the best multiverse movie of 2022 is not Doctor Strange.
It's not. It's Everything Everywhere All at Once, bro. What are you talking about?
And that's heavy acting.
Yeah, that's heavy acting. Yeah.
Good, super Chef Kiss acting.
Yeah. I just went to. I saw that movie twice. I just saw it again recently. Actually,
I need to see it again.
No, sir, it's actually one of my favorite movies of the year. No questions asked. But like, shout outs to my boy Rip and my homie NYK because I saw it with them, and I told him man, that was a crazy multiverse movie, man. And while the credits were rolling, I was like, hey, this actually connects to Multiverse of Madness. And he was like, yo, shut the fuck up. I'm like, no, dude, you don't remember? It has the same actress that was in Shang-Chi. She's in this film. And he's like, what the fuck? I'm like, bro, for real, just wait. He looks it up. He's like, Steve, you're an asshole. But I just thought that was funny. But no, I definitely agree with you. I think now I agree with you to a degree, I should say. Because after Multiverse of Madness, what Multiverse of Madness sets up, and we're going to get to it very, very shortly, right? We're going to get to it very, very shortly. The thing is that this phase of Marvel, and just kind of to slowly shift over to the MCU side of things, one of the things that they have done is that they've been very, very particular about when they put in hints now. Because I feel like they have so many people looking at like it's under like a super microscope. It's not even a regular microscope that people are looking at Marvel under now. They're like, yo, I want to find everything, and even if I can't find it, I'm gonna go find a video that somebody made about it, or just to be sure. So I feel like with this phase, they've done like one of the things of creating not like a whodunit, but a misdirection and still entertainment to try to keep the end game or like the end idea rolling. And I think it was amazing. I think it's amazing. Apparently they just had a retreat. The MCU with Kevin Feige, they just went with apparently with the Marvel team. They did a retreat to plan the next 10 years of Marvel. Right?
Really?
Dude, what I would give to be a fly on the wall, dude.
You fucking know, bro. I would be in there vomiting. Just ignore me. Oh God! You said you're gonna put who in the movie, bro? Like,
I think that's their
losing
strength.
it. Yeah,
that's
dude.
literally their strength because they do that, dude. Like they care and they listen and they plot it out and they plan it out. And the fact that we watched WandaVision and everyone was like, "Oh, this is so tongue in cheek," but that have so much heavy implications to the movie that we just got last week.
Okay.
Insane.
Okay. So last question, and then we're officially shifting. Season 2 drops. Jake Lockley is being more explored as a character. Are you guys tuning in, and do you want it?
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Dude,
that was an amazing cliffhanger.
Was it?
Yes. Come on.
It was not amazing. Amazing, dude. You know what's amazing
three
is?
personalities, and 2 of them are officially disconnected. So we can have a whole story.
Yeah, that's true. We can have a whole season talking about Jake Lockley and the shit he's been doing. Because remember, we don't know shit. I mean, as a character in the MCU, we actually don't know anything about Jake Lockley. Outside of that, he speaks Spanish, he's a bit of a jerk, and he knows how to flirt.
Amazing, though? Like, there's so many things that are actually amazing. It reminds me of the hilarious skit that a comedian did. Like, is it amazing? Was it truly amazing? It was okay.
Well, I can only speak from my own opinion.
Oscar Isaac
So
in a limo.
Amazing.
Oscar Isaac turning around in a limo through a partition.
Khonshu in a limo? Get out of
Yo,
here.
Khonshu looks... Hold on, let me go back. Hold
Yeah,
up, bro.
come on.
Let me go back. Khonshu
I don't know if it was amazing, guys.
Yo,
I just don't know if it was amazing.
So you gonna tell me this was not a quality reveal? He was like, I never cared about Mark Spector or Stephen Grant. My real play was...
Yeah, he also didn't care about old girl.
Yeah, he
Like,
did. He
Lockley
was like, he
surprised.
really thought. He's like, you really thought that like I gave him the fact that we have Khonshu as a character like this in this show,
In a
right?
suit?
In the evolving of like these characters as they keep. Man, I don't know. I ain't gonna. So first off, I'm
Amazing,
sorry.
though.
First off, Tech, I agree with you. Definitely not amazing. It's not amazing. It's not amazing.
Happening?
But listen, wait.
Cool.
But
Cool.
it's damn cool. It's not just this is damn cool to me. Like you
Okay.
this is damn cool to me. The fact that they've successfully given me this character of Moon Knight and incorporated his DID with all these distinct things, right? Like this is flair that they're adding to it. Like it's literally turning into a thing where you read the comic and then you watch the MCU show and it's like watching it being animated. Obviously, they're not going to put in the amount of detail that they put into this manga. I might be going a little deep here, but stay with me. Obviously, they're not going to incorporate everything from that manga to, the anime version of it. But I feel like that's what's happening with comics now. Like, there's a lot of resource for them to cover and kind of like, incorporate and kind of mix and mash together to make a story. A lot of that stuff ain't going to make it through. But I think they did a damn good job. Not an amazing job.
Okay.
A damn
That's all.
good job.
Okay.
My only point was
Bro, this shot,
knock
bro,
it
come
down
on.
from amazing to good. Because it was good. It was good. It was great.
It was-
But it wasn't amazing.
yeah.
Amazing.
I think the only amazing part of the show was them fucking literally churning the entire stars in the sky.
That was amazing, dude.
That
was
actually
good.
was amazing. When he
that
was
was
like,
amazing.
when he was fucking when he was in the desert and he was like, yeah, how the fuck are we gonna get there? He's like, you forgot, I still control the night sky. I was like, yo, damn, and he just flies? I was like, all right, okay.
And it was hard. He was like, yeah, they're going to come for me. So they're going to come get me immediately. So make sure you tell fucking Mark to come for me. That was hard. That was amazing. But
Bruh.
even to come for him, that was dope. It was good. It
Yeah.
wasn't amazing.
I like how he's like, your voice goes up. Man, it was good. It was good. Wasn't amazing, but it was good. No.
But just so you know, I'm a Marvel stan to the T. Like Marvel is kind of my personality, right?
Mhm.
And I'm that doesn't mean I'm going to be blind to everything. I'm going to like everything. You know what I mean? Like you still have to look at everything through.
No,
like,
you do. You have to give it. I personally feel like it's a constructive criticism kind of thing. It's a lot of people out on the internet that say it's constructive criticism and they just like to shit on stuff. I don't fall for it no more. But I am one of those people that literally I like, if we're gonna talk about this shit, like let's talk about it in the idea of like what they could do to improve. Because personally I feel like if you look at Moon Knight compared to the other Disney Plus shows, like them having a different, I don't know, I don't even know if it's tied to them having a different director. I don't know if it's tied to just the character itself, but I will say the fact that Marvel is taking its time to dig deep to get different directors, make sure that they're tied to the source as close as possible, and giving like the vision that they're putting together. It's much like, and Ben can let me know, right? Like it's really like how they have these characters that are drawn and written by different writers and different artists.
Yeah, sure.
Like it's the same, it's literally the same thing, but in movie form. Like they're gonna put their own interpretation and spin on these characters, and sometimes it's not gonna work. I mean, kind of like what's happening, you know, where Venom is going, right? Like that second Venom movie, I'm like, look, I fucking love Venom, but like that's not the Venom I actually want to see all the time. I want to see a different kind of Venom, and I never take it away from them. If people enjoy it, go ahead and enjoy it, because there's still some dope ass scenes in that movie that I will watch that movie again for to some degree. Probably not part 2, because that movie was leaning on a bag of dicks, but it was. I will definitely have scenes that I'm going to be like, damn, bro, that scene was actually fucking dope. You know what I like about Disney, and this is. I'm pointing 2 things out, one from Moon Knight and one from Doctor Strange, is the attention to detail. So during Moon Knight, the moon in each episode changes from a crest until it gets more and more until it ends on a full moon.
A full moon, nice.
Bro.
It's insanely dope.
Dude, the outro, bro. The outro changed every time. There were hints in that outro about like what's happening in the show. The fact that they give you a hint at what Jake Lockley outfit. They give you a hint at what Jake Lockley's outfit looked like. And they literally use the outro as a part to display information from the show. That is so smart. It's deep. It's cool. They pay attention to that detail. Like, you don't get a lot of shows that do that. And actually, I love that you guys are having this discussion about the Disney Plus shows in the chat, because next week I'm 100% making a Disney Plus tier list for the shows. I would love to know what you guys' tier list is going to be composed of too. You guys should do the same on your own podcast, and I'm hella going to talk about it here. We're going to judge you. Anyways.
So let me, real quick, just to hit on the point that you just made. On the first episode of Moon Knight, the entire series is in the fish tank.
Yeah.
The entire
series. I don't know.
You in the fucking fish tank, dude.
Yo, you sounding like you amazed right now, Tech. What's up, man? Your vocal pitch is going higher now.
I'm not amazed. It wasn't amazing. It was really good though.
I feel like you're putting on a Moon Knight. I feel like you're putting on a Moon Knight hoodie right now. It was amazing. You're zipping it up. But no. He's like, it wasn't amazing, you know. I mean, they had the cool outfits and everything, but I don't know.
The more I think about it, the more I do like it. I like it a lot. It's not my favorite Disney Plus show.
Right? Then it did its job.
Yeah, he did good. Didn't do amazing. Did really good.
Well, all right. Well, look, I want you to stick to your guns. I like this. I love that we were able to have this discussion, you know, and talk about what we like and what we don't like and the whole nine about the series. But overall, I hopefully we do get a season 2. I really hope we get a season 2. I want Jake Lockley to be explored, and I want them to have, listen to me, Disney, if anybody in this chat, if this ever gets around, I guarantee you the best episodes of Moon Knight are the Blackout episodes. Just give us an episode starting with him fucking falling off and like blacking out, and wake up and show us everything that happened. Just make it one episode, and I guarantee you those episodes will be fucking amazing. And I'm pretty sure you guys know this. Marvel, you guys are smart over there. But like Tech said, and one of the reasons that we are here is definitely to talk about Multiverse of Madness. Shout outs to Tara Rett, by the way, and the actress who voiced Tara Rett from Moon Knight did a fucking amazing job. Just the amazing detail to the god right here. Oh man, it looks so good.
F. Murray Abraham, dude.
You hear me? The voice of Khonshu?
Khonshu, dude. So good. So absolutely good.
A lot of good elements to this show. A lot of good elements to this show. I definitely recommend people to watch Moon Knight. Yo, that's a question. Yo, okay, last question, and then we're moving. Are you recommending Moon Knight to someone who does not follow the comics? Are you recommending it? I feel like this is a good question to ask. Are you recommending? So. Oh no! Dang, Tech says no. I don't think so. Tech says no. Ben, this is a test right here. Are you somebody who casually watches the MCU? Are you recommending them to watch Moon Knight? If you're a casual. Because I feel like that's the line of enjoyment. I feel like one of the things that makes it a banger is if you could be like, look, I told my friend that is a Bible-biting Christian to watch this show and they're going to love it. Like, you know, like, is that a thing?
So how many movies are we in? 25? There's going to be one out there that somebody who was not, like Mandalorian has won over Star Wars people, right? It has either brought people back to Star Wars or has brought in people who didn't care about Star Wars at all. It's probably all thanks to Grogu, but it's an amazing show anyway, right? So this could be something because of the DID, because of the representation, because of the gods, because of the cinematography. It could have been like, oh shit, Marvel's on some, you know, this isn't just CG, you know, bullshit.
Yeah.
Like the very first episode of
exactly.
Winter Soldier. Oh, we're flying through helicopters. Okay, this is Marvel. I get it.
Hey, man, you better stop, bro. Hold on now. Hold on.
But I love that show because of what it did, because of what they said, you know, with... it
had a voice. You know, it had a voice that had a purpose.
Absolutely. And, you know, I was on this... We've been talking about this shit for years, right? You know how I feel about that. Love that show. But, like, from the get-go, it's explosions and helicopters and stuff. And this one, from the get-go, is dark and it's serious and... from the start, from the first episode. So I could actually see somebody watching this and going, oh, this isn't your typical Marvel. I'm kind of into this. Plus, if you're a person of any color besides white, you like to get the first Egyptian superhero. Come on.
You hear me? Right? It's like, incredible. Dude, right. the director did a very good job of being like, yo, I want to make sure, man, he killed it. Like, so, I love his vision. But go on, Ben.
That's it. I'm just, you know, so if you're a casual, maybe, right? You know, but if you're looking for just the next bit of connective tissue for the MCU, if that's the only reason you watch the Marvel, yeah, you're not going to get that.
I didn't get it.
Not yet. Now, I say not yet. I say not yet. Next thing you know, we're going to be like, yo, man, can you believe Blade is teaming up with Moon Knight and Doctor Strange? This shit is crazy. Who is this guy? Watch the Disney Plus show. That's how you know. Anyway.
Also, get ready for the tsunami of Mr. Knight cosplay we're about to get.
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
wait, dude.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. Okay.